And I'm here again because that's what I do on Tuesdays. I join you. I'm scratching my eye. Hey guys, welcome. Get in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me check out who's on here. It's so weird when I can like see myself. Look at that. Isn't that there? Hi. So, okay. Joshua, what's up? Good afternoon. Hello. Get in here, you guys. Conservative Mom is live on a vlog show. We still haven't come up with a name. We just call it the vlog, Conservative Mama live vlog. It's live. So if I mess this up, who knows? Okay. We have producer Rob here in the background, Rob Hicks with Hicks Video. I can see him, but you can't see him. Super excited to have him on. He produces. Check him out. If you guys need any kind of video production, live streaming, he does all sorts of stuff like that. And he's super cool, super awesome. He also helps me with editing videos when it's too advanced. He's like the next level. Like, here's me, and then here's Rob. Okay, anyways, hey guys, get in here. Hello, 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 Charlene. Hello, Deb. Hey, Deb, thank you for your support. Patty, what's up? Hello, Jane. Hey, Kenneth. Hello, Darlene. Hello, hello, guys. Get in here. Julie, hello, hello. Peggy, hey. Okay, so just to let you guys know, I am going to be bringing on a guest here pretty quickly. I want you to drop the comment, any comments that you might have on Hong Kong, what's happening in Hong Kong, the fight for democracy going on over there. I have a woman that's going to come on and she will be able to answer any questions that you might have. So, and Rob, you've got to remind me to take a look at the comments. Sometimes I start going. So drop the comments in there and I will read them. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, Dennis? Ed, get in here. Maria. Okay. So I guess this just dropped right literally before I went live. You guys probably already know, maybe not, but the director of national intelligence, John Ratcliffe, just disclosed documents exposing that former CIA director John Brennan had briefed President Obama at the time of Hillary Clinton's strategy to pin a whole Russian narrative hoax on Donald Trump. Like, she thought it up. She said, let's do this. Brennan knew it was happening. Brennan told former President Obama, it's all starting to unravel. Okay. It's all starting to unravel. Russian hoax created by Hillary Clinton. Okay. So we got documents on it, people. They were just released. You can go and check them out. But we knew this. I mean, if you're paying attention, you knew the Russian hoax was a hoax, like right off. Like, you knew it. I knew it. My audience knew it. People writing me knew it. We all knew it. So when it all went down, and this whole time we've been defending Trump, saying he never colluded with Russia. That's all just a big thing to delegitimize him as president. And we knew it. And now we have documents released. CIA Director John Brennan knew it. Okay. And he hates Trump. This was released. Check it out. Pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. This is the deep. We talk about the deep state and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's such a conspiracy theory. It's crazy. Deep state. Deep state means these people. Okay. These people abusing their positions of power in our central intelligence agency, abusing its position of power. The FBI abusing their position of power to go after a duly elected president. That's what they've been doing for the last 4 years. Do you know why? Do you know why they've been doing this? Because they don't want all of the dark, dirty stuff that they've been concealing to come out. They don't want the swamp cleaned. And that's exactly what President Trump is. He's the outsider that's come in. That's why it's been such a battle over the last 4 years, guys. I mean, you gotta be aware of this. You have to, at this point, realize these people they're nonstop, man. We've gone from Russian hoax to impeachment, the Ukraine phone call, now blaming Trump for COVID. Just so you know, and we're going to talk about COVID here in a second, okay? Because there's so much I want to say that Facebook, if I really said it, they would come for me. So I have to be careful. And I can always write you privately at rachel@conservativemama.com. my true feelings and thoughts on a lot of this. I've said it before. We could say it again. If you're paying attention, you all know what this is. Okay. Anyways, Trump, since I saw you guys last Tuesday, Trump was diagnosed with COVID. He went to Walter Reed Hospital for COVID, was treated, and then released yesterday evening. And he's kicking COVID's behind. He is a true champion, a true fighter, and the left is outraged. We're going to talk about the media meltdown in a little bit, because they're literally melting down. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen, I mean, we have seen, but now it's like, it's total hysteria at this point. They've reached a peak hysteria because they really wanted Trump to not make it. Like, that's how messed up these people are. And if you're one of those people, because I've got a ton of trolls on here, you got to check your heart, man. If you're wishing death on somebody because you disagree with them politically, you might need a little heart check. Okay. You might need a little, wait, maybe I've let hate literally overtake me. And that's what we've witnessed. And I believe the people on the fence, the people that are kind of lukewarm on this whole thing, that are not really sure who they're going to support, Biden or Trump, all this, when they see how the left responded to somebody that has COVID, when they witness the vile hate and just pure evil that the left has displayed over the last 3 days, I think it's got to make anybody think, I don't want to side with these people. I want nothing to do with people that think like that. I want nothing to do with people that wish death upon somebody. These people that proclaim to be compassionate and care are wishing death on our president. How sick and twisted is that? And I don't know how you could even side with people like that. I really don't. I don't, especially as a Christian. I have no idea how you could. So we're going to talk more about that shortly. But I really quick want to first say that this show is sponsored by Americans for Limited Government. Thank you to them. They're doing incredible work. Go check out their Facebook page. They're Americans for Limited Government. They are really speaking out about limiting the role of government. People are pushing communism and socialism out there. I am completely and totally opposed to that. I don't believe that giving more power, more authority over to the government is at all healthy or wise. We've seen it fail time and time again. When you give absolute power to something, they become corrupted. Absolutely. It's happened over and over and over again throughout history. These people that are pushing for communism and socialism have never read any kind of history book ever. Like, I really think that they have never picked up a history book at all. Communism has killed literally over 100 million people in the last 100 years. Any country that operates under communism, those people have no freedom whatsoever. So I want to give a shout out to Americans for Limited Government. Keep doing what you're doing. They also have an organization called divestchinanow.org. It is an organization that believes that China has and guys, you know, I've been studying China. They are taking over the world. And I know that sounds like, oh my gosh, you're being so dramatic. No, literally, they control almost every port in every major country of the world. They control almost all ingredients that go into our medicine. It's terrifying. They bought up Hollywood. They're buying up the NBA. They're buying up everything. And Divest China Now is saying enough. We need to stop this monopoly that China has created on our world. And so I highly support them. Go to their site, divestchinanow.org, and you can, contribute to them, help them out in any way you can. So, and also they're sponsoring a video that I'll be putting out tomorrow, which is fun. It's satire. It's a good time. I'm playing a character. If you follow me on Instagram, you can you'll know who I'm playing because I posted a picture while I was shooting it. I've never done this before. It's coming out tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. So go check it out or check it out tomorrow. Come to my Facebook page and check it out and share. All right. With that, Oh, and I did want to mention this because this is news that broke also before I bring on our guest. Joe Biden's transition team member. Okay, a member on the transition team. These are people that come in. They're put on a team that help an elected president, soon to take power president, enter into office. It's called the transition team. My sister actually, Lydia, worked on Trump's transition team. Well, she helped assist them. I don't know if she was officially on the team, but she was out there for the whole thing. And she for Trump in 2016. But there is a member on Joe Biden's transition team, and these are formed on both sides because you don't know who's going to win. But this woman, she worked for the Chinese Communist Party for over a decade. Okay, and she's on Joe Biden's transition team. That should terrify you. I'm sorry, and we should have no relationship at all with the Chinese Communist Party. So the fact that he has someone on his team that's going to be helping him if he were to win a transition into office, this guy is owned by China. I want everyone to understand that. He is owned by China. His son closed a $1.5 billion deal, Hunter Biden, with the Chinese. You vote for Joe Biden, you're selling yourself over to the Chinese. The Chinese Communist Party is what I'm saying. I mean, you're like literally just saying, my kids don't need a future. We can be owned by China. It's cool. I'm voting for Biden. That's what you're doing when you vote for Joe Biden. You're literally giving up your freedom. So I hope people are aware of this. I mean, all I can do is keep saying, keep telling people, and hopefully open some people's eyes. So with that said, I want to bring on our special guest. Her name is Joyce Ho, and she is working on she's a New York NYU student, so she's busy. She was able to fit us in. She actually just finished a class, and she was like rushing to get on with us in order to make this time slot. She is a daughter of two people from Hong Kong. She knows what's going on the ground there. We saw it happen nationally. We saw it worldwide. We saw the world come together actually for the people of Hong Kong before COVID hit. I mean, you guys remember that. You remember seeing the people of Hong Kong in the streets. I mean, it was massive protests against the government, protests for freedom, fighting for their rights, fighting for democracy, waving the American flags. And then that all was shut down. Like all of it was shut down when COVID hit. And Joyce, through this period, said, I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep being a voice. I'm going to keep speaking up for the people of Hong Kong. And in the meantime, during this whole COVID thing, she really became a voice here in America. She's been a panelist at different universities. She started her own organization called Project Black Mask Hong Kong. And I'm thrilled to invite her on. Get in here, Joyce. Thank you so much for joining me. I would love to just kind of pick your brain and ask you questions, because we hear, people of Hong Kong, that's over there. Like, I don't really know what's going on. So if you could kind of just give us kind of a rundown of what's happening over there.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. So, in the summer of 2019, Hong Kong underwent something where the Chinese government was really trying to take over Hong Kong. And the reason why a lot of people have been asking me, like, oh, isn't Hong Kong a part of China? Why are people so opposed to this? Hong Kong might be geographically a part of China, but when it comes to the legislation it has, it should be a democracy. As many people definitely know, China is a communist state. Hong Kong was actually granted autonomy for 50 years after 1997 under a declaration that we created with Britain. So under this declaration, Hong Kong was actually granted democracy, autonomy, and the three branches of government that the United States also has. So wow. Under this, China really has no right to come in and try to control what's happening in Hong Kong. What they ended up doing in the summer of 2019 was they literally proposed this new bill called the extradition bill, where people who were who were citizens of Hong Kong could be extradited back to China to be tried under their law, which is completely different than Hong Kong because, as we all know, democracy and communism is very, very different.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's how the protests sparked in 2019, but now they've
Yeah.
become something much bigger.
Okay. Okay. So you said they had some kind of like a treaty you said that was formed for 50 years. And
Yeah, so
then,
yeah. It's
okay.
called the Sino-British Joint Declaration. It's between the British government and the Chinese government. And
And
it,
so is what is Britain doing then about this? Are they getting involved? Because I haven't heard them speak a lot about it. Are
well,
they?
yeah, we're definitely, so Britain really hasn't done anything really major other than guaranteeing that 3 million Hong Kongers can seek citizenship in England, if they choose to do so. That's something
Okay.
that they proposed, and it's not something that I can necessarily guarantee will occur, but it's something that they said that they would try to do for Hong Kongers. But beside that, they have not referenced what is happening in Hong Kong in terms of the breach of this declaration. When you breach a declaration, basically, both sides, it doesn't exist anymore. Hong Kong really deserves to be its own place because China
Right.
breached its side. Yeah.
Right. So okay, so if you're on the ground there and you are is it Hong Kong? Is a Hong Kongian?
Hong
How what do
Konger.
you Hong Konger?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're a Hong Konger over there and uh I mean, are we witnessing like brutality from the Chinese Communist Party? Are they actually being physical? Or are they just kind of like, hey, we're controlling you now? Or has it gotten physical? Is it
Yeah, it's been physical since day one. Actually, not day one, I don't want to say that, but 2 million people came out onto the streets, 2 million citizens of Hong Kong, which is actually 2/7 of the population there, came out
wow.
and protested peacefully. And the police responded with complete brutality. But these police officers are essentially controlled by the Chinese government at this point. The
Right.
Hong Kong police force should be its own, but we've seen a lot of Hong Kong police forces being, uh, you know, I would say tainted by the Chinese government. The Chinese government is telling
Right.
them, do whatever you can, beat up these people. If you need to kill them, you kill them. If you're okay with seeing a protester being dragged through the streets, an old lady being like pummeled by the police, then sure, like I guess you could say what the Chinese government is doing is valid, but it's not okay. It's human rights. These people are protesting
Yeah.
peacefully, and all they're getting in response is people are dying, people are being thrown off of buildings. I cannot confirm these 100%, but
Wow.
it comes to a point where all of these suspicious activities are happening and they don't make any sense. And then the communist government is so sneaky and
Mhm.
deceitful, and they are capable of things beyond imagination.
Right.
What they're
Right.
doing in Hong Kong is absolutely beyond imagination. They are killing people and hurting people who just want something that they were promised.
Right. And so the Chinese Communist Party, they're just saying, hey, we're taking Hong Kong back. Forget the treaty. We're going to control you. You don't have your own autonomy. Um, and it's getting really ugly. Is it progressed under COVID since all of COVID started, or has it kind of been more quiet? Are you hearing anything on the ground over there?
Yeah, so I mean, China definitely took advantage of COVID to move forward with trying to take over to Hong Kong. So on July 1st of 2020, China passed something that we call the National Security Law, where
Yeah.
under this law, you just can't say anything against the Chinese government. You can't say our slogan of the revolution is like free Hong Kong, revolution now, that kind of stuff. You cannot say it anymore because the Chinese government
Wow.
officially banned it. So under this, anything that you say that you might be wearing black, that was the uniform that Hong Kongers were wearing when they were protesting. If you wear black, you could get arrested because the police could,
Wow.
hey, you're trying to protest against the Chinese government. They have
Wow.
absolute power, absolute dictatorship over the people of Hong Kong. And it's only progressed further under the coronavirus situation. And there's nothing we can do about it other than try to show the world that China is smart in taking advantage of the coronavirus to say, let's move in because the world is distracted with something else.
Yeah. What's so shocking to me, and I know I was saying this before we came on, is people don't understand freedom. Like we take our freedom for granted right now. And what's crazy is there's people right now in the United States that want to give more power and authority to the government. It
Mhm.
just blows my mind. I mean, look at China. They have all power. Okay, the people there have no rights. They can't even speak out against their government without being beaten or abused or killed. And I don't understand. I cannot wrap my head around these people that think socialism, which is giving more power and control, communism, which is giving all power and control over to the government. It just, this is such a, I mean, look at Hong Kong, look at China, look at Venezuela. I mean, look at Cuba. Look at these countries that have decided to give more authority and power to the government. It blows my mind. So well, like I mentioned, you started a project called Project Black Mask. Can you just explain what that is to
Yeah, of
us?
course. So Project Black Mask was this idea that my parents and I had when I was just, quarantining at home, feeling super hopeless about the fact that we couldn't protest on the streets like we did for the past year. And it kind of hit me that in this technologically advanced society, there's always a way to get around these kinds of things. And so I sent out over like a few thousand emails and texts and stuff to people and told them, look, I'm starting this new project and I want people of the world to be able to send me a video where they can say, I stand with Hong Kong and I'm from blank. And we had submissions from London, from Israel, from all over
Wow.
the United States. And it was just such a beautiful, beautiful thing to see that people all around the world truly do stand with Hong Kong. And it gave a lot of people this purpose in saying, even though we cannot protest, we still are protesting virtually. And
Right.
now I'm trying to definitely move Project Black Mask onto a larger platform
Right.
where no, we're not only talking about Hong Kong. I want to talk about Tibet. I want to talk about the Uyghur genocide. I want to
Yeah.
keep on moving forward. So I'm building the team. We're really trying to make sure that the world knows what is happening and definitely alert that the United States government and global governments that Hong Kong is a humanitarian crisis right now.
Right.
And our government, as a democracy, has the responsibility to support this movement that is brutally killing people and not just the Hong Kong, but like the Uyghurs and the Tibet.
Right.
These people are all suffering. And as Americans, I think that we have this duty because we were so lucky to be born with these rights to support people who have had them taken away from them.
Oh, right. Right. I mean, thank God. People don't get how incredible it is to be an American, to have the ability to speak up, to speak out, to say what you think, and to not think, oh my gosh, because of this, I could die.
Yeah.
Because of this, my family could die. We must fight for our freedom, and we must fight for freedoms for people across the world. And this is a bipartisan thing, okay? Like humanitarian crisis, okay, happening all over the world. The people of Hong Kong, the Uyghurs in China, the people of Tibet. All of this is we are in debt. They're humans, okay. These that's I think we like distance ourselves. These are humans. These are humans being tortured and abused. I mean, women in concentration camps undergoing forced sterilization. uh, it is we are obligated, and I know it's hard, and I know people want to tune out, and it's like, I can't listen to this, it's too hard, I don't want to hear it. That's the least you can do. The least you can do is hear the story, to hear the people that are crying out in pain asking for our help. That's the least you can do. Oh, sorry, it inconveniences you. Well, talk to the people that are currently in concentration camps right now. I mean, we need to speak up, we need to speak out, we need to have a say, we need to support these people that are fighting for their rights, and cheer them on no matter what side of the aisle you're on. Okay. So I want to ask you, is there anything that we can do before I let you go, Joyce? Is there anything? We're busy mom and dads here, we've got a lot going on. What can we do to help you, to help the people of Hong Kong? um, what can we do?
Yeah, so I would say the easiest thing is definitely participate in Project Black Mask. We are always accepting new videos. The email is in my Facebook. And just by sending a video and saying, I stand with Hong Kong, I stand with Tibet, or anywhere else that you truly do stand with, and saying, I'm from New York, I'm from Texas, I'm from wherever else, you are able to contribute to our movement by showing the United States government and showing the world and Hong Kongers and all of these freedom fighters that people do stand with them and that there needs to be change in this world when it comes to these kinds of revolutions.
Right.
And human rights is not it's not a partisan issue. It's something that we all
Right.
really truly need to care about. And I
Right.
think everybody, if you can participate in this, we will create a video. We're working with a lot of different organizations, and we're just showing the world that we care as Americans. That
Right.
we don't just take advantage of what we have, but we use our advantage to help other people. Um,
Right.
I mean, in addition to that, of course, always educate yourself and make sure that you know what's happening. Make sure that what's happening in Hong Kong is not just flying over your head, because we're all members of this world and we're all humans and we all need to help each other out and just resist China. I was helping out with their campaign on October 1st at one of the rallies in DC, and it's really important that we resist China. Resisting China is probably one of the biggest things right now because, believe it or not, they will take over our world. I think putting up a strong stance against China is really, really important as well. I think education, maybe helping out with Project Black Mask, and definitely, definitely trying to boycott Chinese goods when you can. Buying things that are made in the US is super, super important. And just in general, maintaining the idea that we should be afraid of China. We should be afraid of what they're doing. And we should know that their power is definitely not limited to the East. It's coming to the
Right.
West.
Right. Right. That's so true. That is so spot on. I couldn't have said it better. Joyce Ho, thank you so much for joining me today. Is there anywhere are you on Twitter? Can we follow you there?
I'm not on Twitter, but I am on Instagram.
Okay.
So if any
Under
of
Joyce
you,
Ho.
yeah,
Okay.
it's at JoyceMho.
MHO. Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome, Joyce.
yeah, so if you guys want to like my Facebook page for Project Black Mask, we would really appreciate that. We're constantly building and trying to fuel the younger generation to continue to protest and spark new projects and stuff like that. So thank you
Wow.
all.
Awesome, Joyce. Thank you so much. Godspeed. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Wow. I she's young too, guys. Like she's young, and I didn't have it that together when I was Joyce's age. I'll tell you that. It's like that's like a future president right there running for office at some point. Highly impressive. Go check out Joyce M. Ho Instagram. Follow her on Project Black Mask. It's on Facebook. Shoot a video saying that you support Hong Kong, where you're located. We got to keep this thing going. Just because China, decided to let out a virus, infect the whole world. And let's remember, China shut down their internal flights, guys. They shut down flights all with it. Like once the China virus broke out, they shut down their internal flights in their country and they kept international flights going. Doesn't that say something? Common sense would be like, wait a minute, why did you shut down internal flights, but you kept international flights going? And it just happened to, hit Hong Kong and shut everything down there. Whatever. So, anyways, vote for freedom, vote for individual liberty, vote against communism and socialism because it's happening. Like Joyce said, they are a force. China's not playing. China's not playing. And we need a strong leader to stand up to China. We need someone that's not going to let China boss us around. That just like they're they boss everybody around. China is the big bad bully in this whole thing. And everybody bows down to China because they've got the money. Look at the NBA. Look at the right now I think Mark Cuban's arguing on who's he arguing with? Somebody on Twitter right now. There's just, Ted Cruz, huge back and forth. And Ted Cruz is like, wow, I wish, Cuban wouldn't be so manipulated because of money, because of China money. And that's what a lot of these guys are doing. They're manipulated by China money. They're filling their pockets. And at the same time, selling America out to China and our future, our children's futures out to China. We need a hard stance on China. They hated that we enacted these tariffs on them under Trump, and they don't want Trump. Okay. If they don't want Trump, that means we should have Trump. Just common sense. Okay. Listen, what Joyce just said. They are not playing. China's a serious contender in our world right now, and we need to take a hard stance against them. I'm telling you. So, okay. Now, with that said, I want to really quick. Where am I? I am all over the place. Okay. So, Rob's still there. Still with us. Okay, people. Don't go away yet. I am amazed, absolutely amazed at the meltdown that I've witnessed over the last 3 days. I was highly amused by Chris Cuomo. You have to check him out. He was screaming, just screaming that Trump walked up to the White House and he took his mask off. And Cuomo said, it's just propaganda. You know, it's all a show. It's all BS. Literally, like, meltdown on camera on CNN. I'm like, wow, this guy is losing it. I'm witnessing like a complete meltdown. And then I thought it was really funny because he said, it's all BS. It's all propaganda. Let's remember what Cuomo did. Do you remember what Cuomo did? Do you remember how he staged him coming out of his basement? Like he had quarantined for so long and he was just busting out. And then we realized that he never quarantined himself. There's pictures of him out having ice cream, doing whatever while he had COVID. Okay. But he staged this whole, emerging from his basement. That's BS. Okay. That's propaganda. That's Chris Cuomo. I don't know anyone that could watch CNN and like take it seriously. It's literally, it's just theatrics. It's just like total hysteria. I hate Trump. We don't know why. We're led by feelings and emotion, and they're just rage. And somebody else over there, I think it might have been MSNBC, but they compared Trump to Mussolini on the balcony. I'm like, okay, this is the problem. The left, the Democrats, the progressives, the communists, the socialists, the globalists have yet to realize that Trump lives in the White House. And yes, he's been president for the last 4 years. The White House is his home. Now, I want everyone watching on here, do you wear a mask at your home? Do you walk around with a mask on your face at home? If so, you're probably the same person that drives alone in your car with your mask on. I mean, I couldn't even, like, it's just, and it's a perfect example because I was getting a kick out of this. I'm highly entertained. Like, people are like frustrated by it, but I really see this as like their final, like, total meltdown. They're like losing it. They hear that Trump's got COVID and they're like, yes. And then he beats COVID and they're like, no. And so they're on this emotional roller coaster. And everybody else that's like sane and logical and loves America is watching this like, what? Like, it's almost like, oh my gosh, these people are miserable. To be a Democrat, to be a liberal, I mean, you can't, they're joyless. They're miserable people. I don't know a happy Democrat. I don't. The Democrats I know, constantly raging on Facebook, constantly, I hate Trump. They're not happy. They're not healthy. They're not well. They're not at peace. That's just got to be miserable. It's got to be just a miserable life. I couldn't even imagine being in that state all the time. What's it going to be like on November 3rd? I mean, November 4th when we wake up, and I'm believing God that Trump is going to win this. I really am. Just buckle up, guys, because we're going to see like the most just beyond, like, we think what we've seen has been, I can't even, I have no words. I'm anticipating meltdown of all meltdowns, just complete total hysteria to the 10th zillionth degree. But this is the thing. Who would give people like this power? Like a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I just wanted to stop. Can't we just get along? Like, oh my gosh. Would you ever give people like this power? The Cuomos? that are just lying and calling things BS when they are the BSers. When you watch people that are wishing death upon our president, like this one, what is her name? Rob, Zahira or whatever. She's a former Clinton official. She wished death on the president, Zara Rahim. It's been against my moral identity to tweet this for the past years, but I hope he dies. Do you want to give someone like this power and authority? Do you want to give these people that are tearing our cities apart and screaming defund the police and chanting death to America because they are? Why would we give them power? This is when we stand strong. This is when we say, like hell, you are going to get power. We're taking a hard stance, not on our watch, and we're going to vote for freedom on November 3rd. We're going to vote for the man that's going to have a hard stance on China on November 3rd. We're going to vote for the freedom that defends the babies in the womb on November 3rd. We're going to vote for the man that defends free speech and religious liberty on November 3rd. We are voting for state rights on November 3rd, and we're not going to let you crybabies, you weaklings, you people that wish death and destruction upon our president gain power. Are you crazy? You've got to be crazy to think that we're going to give the reins and control and wheel over to you. No. So turn up on November 3rd, vote in person. If you have a ballot, walk it to your place where you drop it off. Do not put it in the mail. Don't mail that thing. Drive it, walk it. That's what I do. Colorado here, we have mail ballots. But this is the thing that people don't understand. And I want to really quickly say this, and this is, now I'm going too long. Colorado has had a mail ballot system for a very long time. So when you have the leftists say, well, Colorado has a mail-in ballot. No. We had to register to vote, okay? We filled out our name, our address, and a signature that they run through a computer on election day, and they match that signature with your ballot. And you can log on to your computer and go to a site and make sure that they tallied your vote correctly. So when it says Rachel voted for Trump, I did vote for Trump. These other states that are just now suddenly mailing out ballots, they don't have anything like that in play. I hope people understand that. They don't have anything like that in play. They're literally just sending out ballots to everybody that's registered to vote. So they're just sending out ballots, okay? They have no way to match signatures. You have no way to tally and make sure that your vote was counted correctly. I have a friend out in New York, and her cousin was sent 5 ballots. There's a picture of it. 5 ballots she was sent. Then she got sent another 3, all to her address in New York, okay? That system's not, that's how people cheat. That's why we're against this mail-in ballot system that the Democrats are pushing, because their goal is to harvest those ballots, to harvest them, to take them, and to cheat. That's why they're saying, oh, it's going to be a landslide for Trump, but then once the ballots come in, no. We are believing for such a landslide victory that I don't care how many ballots are out there. It's so evidently clear the American people have voted to condemn socialism and communism on November 3rd. That's what we're doing. This is so much bigger than Trump. That's what people don't understand. I have a friend out in California. He can't see it. And I'm like, this is so much bigger than Trump. This isn't about Trump. This is so that we don't become Hong Kong. Okay? Like, do people get that? I don't. And so we're not now having to form our own battalions and our own to fight for our freedom. We have our freedom right now. And we have a chance and an opportunity to hold on to our freedom, to not give it up, to not give it over to this, to the powers at hand. These Joe Bidens and Kamala Harris, they are not freedom oriented. I just watched a video where Kamala Harris is going after some guy on the Planned Parenthood guy that exposed the selling of Planned Parenthood parts. She's the one. She's the Attorney General. Kamala Harris is the one that went after that guy and shut him down. She is in Planned Parenthood's pocket. We'll talk about that in a second. Really quick, I'm going to wrap up. But I want to show this meme that Rob and I found here. It's just the difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And who do you want in a battle? Okay, when you're in a battle, when you're on a field and you're battling, or you're in a game and you're battling. I was a competitive figure skater my entire childhood. When you compete, you play to win, right? Like you play to win. You compete to win. That's what I did. I got up early in the morning, figure skated before I hit school, and then back on the rink after school. I was constantly focused and trained to win. Look at the difference. This is what Joe Biden will do. He hides in his basement during this thing. He's not on the field. He's not wielding a sword. He's not fighting. He's hiding. And then we have Donald Trump, who actually had to go through and experience COVID. And he's still saying, no, I will not have a spirit of fear. I will not let fear consume me, and I will not let fear consume this country. We will beat this thing. We will overcome it. We are more than conquerors. That is the leader you want in battle, right there. No, not having it. I will be fearless in the midst of adversity. That mask represents so much more than it represents fear and a spirit of fear and operating under fear. And we are not to have fear. We are to be fearless. So I don't know if I should show that video or not. Am I going too long, Rob? Let's see here. He says, just fine. It's fine. Really quick, I want to say, let's just look at Trump, what he said. The leader of the free world, he went through COVID. Let's listen to what he said, because it's not words of fear. It's a fearless strength and fortitude that we should have in this time.
I just left Walter Reed Medical Center, and it's really something very special. The doctors, the nurses, the first responders, and I learned so much about coronavirus. And one thing that's for certain, don't let it dominate you. Don't be afraid of it. You're going to beat it. We have the best medical equipment. We have the best medicines, all developed recently. And you're going to beat it. I didn't feel so good. And 2 days ago, I could have left 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I felt great, like better than I have in a long time. I said just recently, better than 20 years ago. Don't let it dominate. Don't let it take over your lives. Don't let that happen. We have the greatest country in the world. We're going back to work. We're going to be out front. As your leader, I had to do that. I knew there's danger to it, but I had to do it. I stood out front. I led. Nobody that's a leader would not do what I did. And I know there's a risk, there's a danger, but that's okay. And now I'm better, and maybe I'm immune. I don't know. But don't let it dominate your lives. Get out there. Be careful. We have the best medicines in the world, and it all happened very shortly, and they're all getting approved, and the vaccines are coming momentarily. Thank you very much. And Walter Reed, what a group of people. Thank you very much.
Just awesome. I mean, that is leadership. And people are like, oh, well, Trump he wasn't honest. You wanted him to cause panic. You wanted him to say, oh my gosh, we're all going to die. I mean, who wants that? Like, who wants that in a leader? I don't want that in a leader. I want a leader to say, hey, we're going to be okay. We're going to get through this. We're going to overcome it. We are Americans. We are strong. We are capable. We are brave. We are courageous. We can do all things. And the leftists out there, oh my gosh, he didn't panic. Thank God he didn't panic. That's the kind of leader I want. I don't want somebody that's going to panic. I don't want somebody that's going to hide in their basement. I don't want somebody that's going to kowtow to China. I want a leader. I want someone that's going to stand up in the midst of adversity and face it in the eyes and call it to stand down. That's what I want in a leader. Oh, geez. These weak people out there. Literally, who raised you? Who raised these people? I mean, who are your parents? I don't get it. I don't get the women out there that I said something offensive. Get over it. We need a leader in this time right now. And that's President Trump. Biden on abortion. I want to close with this because this is so eye-opening to anybody out there that's still blind, to anybody out there that literally cannot see it. Especially to the Christians, guys. I'm sorry. If you're a Christian and you're considering voting for Joe Biden, check your faith. I'm just going to say it. Check your faith. Check your faith. We serve the creator of life. God is pro-life. And this is what Joe Biden said the other day when he was asked about abortion. Watch.
I knew whenever I was graduating high school and entering college that I wanted to obtain my degree and start a career before starting a family. Having access to birth control and safe reproductive health care was imperative in making that true for me. So considering the new Supreme Court nomination of Amy Coney Barrett, what are your particular plans to protect women's reproductive rights in the U.S.?
Number one, we don't know exactly what she will do, although the expectation is that she may very well move to overrule Roe. But the only responsible response to that would be to pass legislation making Roe the law of the land. That's what I would do.
He wants to make Roe the law of the land. Okay. So you Catholics out there, you Christians out there that are like, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. Don't tell me you're pro-life. Don't tell me that you're for life. Don't tell me that you're for the creator of life, because the creator of life is pro-life. God knew us before he formed us in our mother's womb. That means that we are a spirit, we have a soul, and we live in a body. Let that be the issue. Because at some point, I'm telling you, and I've been saying this for a while, he's not going to allow it anymore. He's not going to just continue to let millions of babies be aborted and killed without his judgment. We serve a God that has an opinion. God has an opinion on this. He's not lukewarm on this issue. This is not an issue that, take it or leave it. This is a black and white issue. You're either for God and for life, or you're against God and you're against life. It's so clear. It's so clear. And you will be held accountable for how you vote. You will stand before God and give an account for your life and have to stand before him and justify what you did here on this earth. It's not a joke. It's not something that, I don't know. No, we serve a God that has an opinion. He has an opinion on this. He created these lives. He made them. He formed them in their mother's womb. Unless you just don't believe the Bible at all. Unless you just don't believe that Jeremiah 1:5 is the truth. But Jeremiah 1:5 says, I knew you before I formed you. He knit us together in our mother's wombs. And people that are killing these babies that are born, that are not born, that are existing in their mother's wombs, God has an opinion on that. So it's so clear. It's so clear to me. It's so clear. I mean, I can't make it any more clear. So that's I'm going to leave it there, Rob, and let people draw their own conclusions. Well, okay. All right, you guys, thank you for watching. We went so long here, but I'm so thankful for you guys. I'm thankful to my supporters. I'm thankful to my Patreon supporters as well, my Facebook supporters, those that throw $10 at me on PayPal. Thank you all. I appreciate it. It keeps me going. It keeps Rob and I going. This show costs money. So I'm thankful also to my supporters and to those that want to sponsor the show, like Americans for Limited Government. I'm thankful to them. I'm thankful for all of that. God bless you guys. Let's keep speaking up. Let's keep speaking out. We will not be silent. We will not be silent. And final stretch, guys. We're running the final stretch. Do not grow weary in well doing. Keep going. Keep the pace. Keep the prayers going. And we'll talk next week. Bye, guys.